Hey, do you know the difference between taking responsibility and taking spiritual responsibility? Stick around, we're going to define that, and we're going to talk about the consequences, which are huge. Hey, my name is Max Ryan. I'm a spiritual teacher. I'm a law of attraction trainer. I'm also an intuitive. And on this channel, I do everything to help you to attract positive results in your life. And just today, I did this talk all about taking spiritual responsibility. And I'm sure that you're going to get a lot of it out of it. So make sure that you click the like button and subscribe if this is the kind of content that will help you in your life. Enjoy the talk. All right, so let's talk about spiritual responsibility. Let's talk about spiritual responsibility and accepting spiritual responsibility. If you notice, I didn't say accepting responsibility. It's a very different thing, accepting spiritual responsibility compared to accepting responsibility. Now, let me ask you this question. When I say you have to accept responsibility, is that for you? Does that feel good, or does that feel For me, just speaking for me, and when I work with my students and my clients, when it comes to accepting responsibility, I'm not talking about spiritual responsibility, very different, that's okay. They tend to go, oh God, yeah, I gotta face that thing, or I gotta look at that thing, or I have to do that thing, I have to change in some way, I gotta be better than I am, I'm not good, I'm a bad girl, I have this flaw in me, something's wrong with me, so I have to accept responsibility, and if I accept the responsibility, then my life will change, and then, does that make sense? The rant I just went on? Do you understand what I'm saying? This is what most people, when you hear the thing, you have to accept responsibility, they tend to go, oh God, okay, something's wrong with me, I'm not responsible, I'm a bad person, I'm flawed, my mother taught me, never I'm lazy, I need to get it together. In general, that's what the world is going to tell you your responsibility is. That's okay, Mary. Whatever it is. So the world's idea of responsibility is taking on things and doing, big word, doing things so that you become better. Right? Okay? That's in general, that's the definition. That's where we're going to talk about today. That's the world's definition of accepting responsibility. Right? When we talk about spiritual responsibility, you have to, that's where trust comes in too. You don't have to do anything. Spiritual responsibility is knowing that you're already perfect. Taking the responsibility to see the truth of who you are. Taking the responsibility of understanding, feeling, and connecting with your connection with God, with Source, with love. Because we are co-creating with the Source at all times. So when you take the responsibility to know the truth of who you are, that is different for everybody, the consequence of that is, guess what? You don't feel, I have to, something's wrong with me, I know better, something's wrong with me, I have to make sure that and then my finances, then my kids, then my marriage, then my wife, and then my na. You don't have that responsibility. But your spiritual responsibility is between you and you and you and God. Your spiritual responsibility is to get to the place where you know you are just being in the flow that your will and God's are one. There is nothing conflicting your will. That's right, Sarah. That there is nothing conflicting your will. And so, when you take spiritual responsibility, you stop forcing. You stop doubting. You stop depressing. You stop anxiety. You stop all that stuff, right? Why can't people take responsibility for getting themselves well? Because they're not ready. Because they're not ready. That's why. They're not ready and they're not interested. It's as simple as that. Simple as that. And you can't make anyone be ready or interested. That's between you and God. Does that make sense? Right? Spiritual responsibility is emotional responsibility. Spiritual responsibility is psychological. Well, it's psychological health. It's emotional health. Right? Spiritual responsibility is making sure that you are consciously connecting with flow, love, God, grace on a consistent basis, instead of connecting to struggle, push, try, force, gotta get there, gotta do this on a consistent basis. Your spiritual responsibility is realizing that the word responsibility is your ability to respond. One of the greatest things you can ever really apply in your life is choose again, choose again, choose again. So, your greatest spiritual responsibility is to be able to say, I can respond differently. I don't have to live pushing the rock up the hill. I don't have to live in constant agita. I don't have to live in fear. I don't have to live in constant, because, and this comes back to what I said, if you're living your life in, I have to, something's got to change, I got to be here, I got to you have not developed your trust. And if you have not developed trust, what I'm talking about is alien to you. Because you're going to read, hold on one second, you're going to read all of those motivational books, the motivational books that say, this is what you're going to do, and you're going to do this. There's nothing wrong with those. But they're all coming from a place of you have to take responsibility because something is wrong with you. Spiritual responsibility is something is right with me. Take a deep breath. I'm going to kind of wrap up here for a second. But the difference that I'm talking about here is the world's definition of responsibility is motivation. Spirit's definition of responsibility is inspiration. 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 That's it. And remember, today could be the best day of your life. I'll see you real soon.